Hey everybody, it's the Wargaming Guy. We are back here once again. And until last night when I played this, unfortunately, the mic didn't work, so I'm doing a voiceover of it. But notice the victory conditions here. Notice them, yes. That middle island that has a couple of units on it, Japanese units, does not play into your victory. As someone said in the comments, they did. Nope, they don't. All I've got to do is the Japanese is hang on to one little star victory hex, just one, on Saipan or Tinian or Guam, and we've got it. So that, see there, I'm pointing it out to you right now. That's what we want to do. Naturally, of course, this had to happen on an incredibly busy weekend, but oh well, there you go. So here we go. We're going to start the Marianas campaign from the Japanese side, or the Marianas campaign, I guess I'm supposed to say. It's not Annis, it's Annis. I knew that, but I said it anyway. And here come the Americans. Now, the question is, how bad is this going to hurt? And, yeah, it's going to hurt pretty bad. Because they've just got battleships, they've got, of course, CVs. You've seen all this. The question is, where are they going to land? How are they going to handle their landings? I did not do a really great job of that when I played this through for the first time as the Americans. So hopefully they'll do even worse than I did, but probably not. They're probably going to do just fine. And so we'll just have to wait and see how this all develops. And how well my troops and my fortified positions can stand up under this bombardment. Here we go. And the artillery's fighting back. That's awesome. We want to inflict it. Well, that tells us something, and it's not the good news we were looking for. Wow, they just evaporated him. Boy, going after my air units now. Yeah. We got a lot of artillery, but we just don't have enough ground troops. And they're not, and we have no air power whatsoever at all. So, or naval, as far as that goes. So, yep. Now this is a surprise for a couple of reasons. One, they don't need to kill these units. These units can't move, so they cannot threaten that airfield, which is a victory hex. Once they take it, there's no way. So they don't need to from that perspective. And it also surprised me because, of course, at this moment, they have no connection to a port, although this doesn't take too long to establish, as you can see. But I just was surprised that they've put so much of their forces down there. That took me by surprise. Ooh, there goes the anti-air unit. Artillery, man, the artillery in this game is rough, and the American artillery in particular is very good. Very, very good. And I don't have my earbuds in. No wonder I can't feel talking. It's been a long day. Okay. All right. I actually don't know what that does. It's just a habit of mine. Okay, so they're moving up now, going for the victory hex, and they took out the HQ. Bam! So they have decapitated the troops there. That'll hurt their supply and their morale, of course. And that's it. So this is just a big bunch of stuff there telling us about defending and blah, blah, blah. What we should be doing. Like, you have much of a choice. You're stuck on this island. You can't get off it. You're either going to fight or give up. One of the two, or die. 3 choices. Fight and then give up, or fight and die, or just give up. So I'm checking out now, trying to see what I've got here. Wondering if they're going to invade up there later, if they've got enough troops left. On Tinian, things don't look too bad. Now we're going to go down to that island, Rota. I always forget its name. It does not play into the victory conditions, so the Americans don't have to take it. But what I'm wondering is if we can get some MPPs, which at this moment we have 0 of, can we move those troops, and maybe the HQ as well, down to Guam and reinforce Guam? it might be worth it. But, of course, it's not possible at this moment because we got 0 on the MPPs. So, readjusting the forces here, a lot of them can't move, like he can't move. But he can shoot, so maybe that'll do some good. He can't move. He can't move. He can move. So we'll pull back to that slightly better terrain. And then I was going to move my artillery, and I realized they don't move. It's not good. So let's attack this artillery unit since the American artillery is so vicious. Maybe. And let's see what we can do. So here we go. Try and inflict a bunch of casualties on this and cost them a lot, or maybe even destroy it. That would be awesome, but nothing. That was a big disappointment. So he's not dead yet. Wait. Ooh, wait. Yes, we got him. Awesome. Much celebration going on in Japanese HQ. Of course, is that really going to make any difference? Yeah, probably not, but So I'm just looking over these guys here, kind of get a feel for what I've got back there. When the Americans get there, because they will get there. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So, yeah. Yeah, looking supply. Supply is surprisingly good. Except right on the really high peaks in the mountains, you can see it's down to like 3. But otherwise, it's not bad, actually. Although, here's a little foreboding for you. I do get a surprise on the supply chain end of things later in this video. So stay tuned. Now, look at that. He can fire. So we'll go after that artillery unit. See if we can do any damage. Not really. And that's it. So, Tinian's trying to help, but not doing a whole lot of good. So they got 2 HQs, 3 HQs. Sorry. And, yeah. Looking at the different, who these guys are, the Marine units, the Army units. And, yeah, time to move on and let the AI roll here, see what the Americans have up their sleeves. Rapidly, which is what you would expect. Got some battleships popping up here. Lots of offshore support for the American units, of course, including CVs and CVLs as well. And for some reason, they're going after that guy. Which, they're thinking ahead because he's not really anything important in the battle right now. So here we go. Got to take this airfield. This will be their first victory hacks once they get it. But we shall fight on. We shall never surrender. Okay, no problem. So there you go. So we're down 1 airfield. And here come he's grinding up our artillery and our... he's gone. Yeah, it's just a shame you can't move these guys. But they're apparently in dug-in positions in the hills and the mountains, so that's the end of that. So they are already pushing here on Saipan pretty strongly, making good time, I think. And of course, our deal here is not to survive, but to, 1, slow them down as much as possible, and 2, hurt them as much as possible so they'll spend as many MPPs here. So maybe at the end of the game, they'll have less for Guam. But that's really hard to do when you just don't have that many units, and the units that you have, a lot of them don't move, which is a real, that's like a real problem. Let's see. All right, let's try that. And no, can't reach anything. So that's no good. And they won't let you shoot those at blank territory. Even if you know there's a unit there, but if you can't see it, if it doesn't show on the map, you can't shoot it. Which may or may not be realistic. But you can argue that one out. So here we go. They're very close to capturing the bottom portion of the island. And they're going to roll up north and then hit the mountains, which historically caused a lot of problems on Saipan. But they're not there yet. All right. I think I was just examining all of them, trying to figure out something I could do, or maybe a unit to focus on, but it's hard to focus on a unit. And we still get 0 MPBs, so that's not helping me either. But I'll tell you what, if part of this game, if part of what they're trying to do here is recreate the sense of being trapped and helpless on these islands, as the Japanese must have felt, they're doing a pretty good job here, even though this is a pretty high-level game still. I mean, no MPPs. You've got no way to reinforce your units. You can't move a bunch of them. It's obvious. You're just here to die and take as many people with you as possible. And they pound you from the air, and they pound you from the sea, and they'll, as soon as they get their land aircraft involved, they'll be pounding us with those. And it's just like, wow. It's a very kind of helpless, claustrophobic kind of feeling, just waiting for the sky to fall. And it's going to. The only question is, how soon? That's really the only question. It's rough. Look at this poor guy. They're just beating the ever-loving, and he's gone. So that's that. Leaping forward on the left coast, and in the center, and on the right coast. The line at this point is pretty straight, sort of. The left coast is a little ahead, but not too, incredibly amazing at all. So, yeah, we're keeping things pretty good here. So let's just see. Yeah, again, I'm going to try to... No, can't do it. I know there's an artillery unit out there somewhere, but nope, can't do it. All right, so now what do we do? Well, let's try to find somebody we can really hurt. That guy we can definitely hurt, so let's pour it into him. See if we can damage him, or maybe even destroy him. I mean, that would be awesome. Yeah. Oh, I have a tendency in this game to forget how long the ranges are on the units, because I'm used to playing strategic level SC where, 1 hex, that's it. So, unless you're an air unit, of course. So, yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out what I should do here. Can't. That's how far his range is. There's just not much. I keep looking it over and thinking about it. Now, I do have this guy that I could move. I'm thinking about it. But I decide no. All right, so we still collect Zippo on the MPPs. Here come the battleships. Yeah, and they are pounding away at the town, the big town up there, as well as other places, prepping them for if they can when they break through. And it is when, it's not if. I will sometimes say if, just because that's what I say, but actually we all know it's just a matter of time. This is not too bad of a line, and I do have some territory that, oops, could help me, but apparently it didn't there. Of course, it looks like he was on flat ground there. Okay, come on, hold on. Don't let him get you. Don't let him get you, boys. Okay, they got you. And, wow, they just evaporated that garrison just like that. Wow, that I did not expect. So you can see, look at that, where I had it's kind of a sort of a line a minute ago. Now, not only do I not have a line, but I've got guys flanking it and cutting into to the right from the right-hand side of the coast. Oh, now he's gone. So the line is evaporated in one turn. One turn. Wow. That hurts. Okay, so we got to do something here. Can't really reach there, but wait, look. We can bombard their battleships. So why the heck not? At least for a bit until the American ground forces get within range. Maybe we can beat up one of these guys, make him withdraw him to repair him or something. Or at least make him weaker. Either way is a win for me. Yeah. Look at this. He can't move. Yeah. So, what are we going to do here? Because they're coming for us. In a big hurry. This is the guy that I didn't move last time, but I was really thinking about it might be good to put him in the mountainous terrain. The problem now is they're right on top of me, and there's not going to be time to dig in, but I did it anyway. That probably is a mistake, although I don't think, honestly, in the long run, it's going to make any difference anyway. But, if I was going to move him, I should have moved him, like, as soon as possible so he could really get dug in. All right, here we go. What will the Yankees do? Oof. Their long-range artillery is pounding us and mercilessly beating our units to a pulp. As the carefully dug and constructed positions of our units are just ground down. Here we go. Well, at least, yeah. CVL's only get one shot. CVs get two, so. Yikes. Here we go. How long can this guy hold? It's the big question. Not long is the big answer. So the Americans on the left, rather, have contacted the next, quote, line, unquote, of defense, pulling back because they're kind of battered up a little bit. So, yeah, calling that a line is really optimistic. But, what are you going to do? Yeah, so that guy's digging in, but he's not going to be as dug in as he could have been. Like I said, I probably should have left him alone. But, sometimes you're just sort of desperate to do something, even if it's the wrong thing, which is not good strategy, but nevertheless, I wouldn't be the first guy to do it. Nor the last, I'm sure. See, I was thinking maybe I could bombard the port. Nope. One hex short. One lousy hex short. So now looking at Tinan, thinking I'm going to at some point need to get it prepared for the invasion that will be coming, probably after Saipan's taken or right at the very end, depending on how the Americans want to do it. I don't think he's doing much out there. The victory hexes, we've got them down here and up the top of Tinian, but the port, the only port, is here. So that says to me, if we can hold the fort for I am coming. Anyway, if we can hold the fort, then, maybe we can hurt them supply-wise and slow them down that way. Yes, this guy does move, so... yeah. We'll fiddle with this over the next turn or two, probably. But, and the same up there. It's like most of these guys can't move, but those anti-air units are not going to stand up to much. Let's just be honest. Having those guys in the hills is great, but they don't even need to touch them to win. All they got to do is take the victory hexes. So, yeah, here we go. This is when the Marine General Howling Mad Smith, who was the head of the corps that was on Saipan with 2 Marine divisions and a Army division, got into it because he relieved the Army General for going too slow. The Army was doing up the middle stuff through the mountains, and it was slowing them down. And Smith had enough of it and canned him, and all heck broke loose. Yes, indeed. It got pretty ugly. And you can still, argue about it today if you'd like. World War II history presents you with endless things to debate and discuss and argue about if you're so inclined. Endless, there's just no end to all the different things, it seems like. The people love to discuss and argue about it. So if you're a fan of the Pacific War, I hate to say that, if you're interested in the Pacific War, then this one in particular, the Saipan thing. Jeez, he just evaporated him. It's like science fiction where they have the guns that just evaporate people. That's what that Marine tank unit's just unbelievable. So they're online. They're pushing pretty well. I mean, we slowed them down a little bit, but whether we're slowing them down enough is the question. Yeah, can't do anything with that. So it's back to the Navy. Let's see if we can get these guys, because again, they're not quite within range yet. This quote, line, unquote, really it's a string of outposts, might be a better way to describe it. Isn't going to take them too long to push their way through. Yeah, that's the thing about this game. Look how concentrated the Marines are and the Army, the U.S. forces are, and how spread out the Japanese forces tend to be, except in certain areas. But what are you going to do? You have to defend that town. You have to defend the ports. You can't just all hole up in one. I mean, you could all hole up in one spot, but then, you're ceding everything else to the Americans, and they can take their time, just starve you out or leave you up in the mountains. Who cares, So here we go. Back to Tinian for a little tweaking. We're tweaking the setup on Tinian. There we go. Let's let the infantry do it first. They should withstand better. Slightly better, he said, the attack than the... Yeah, now there's over there that one victory hex you saw on the right. Yeah, I'm looking at these guys to see if I should do anything here. You got kind of a line on that river there, kind of. And it's in rough terrain. There's the victory hex I couldn't get last time. That's why I lost. Let's look at the supply. It's not too bad for the Japanese at this point. So I definitely, if I can get those troops off Rota and bring them down, I would want to put them there and hold that to the bitter end, thus keeping my foe from winning. So we're going to send that guy over. He's going to go up there. And then hopefully we'll see about Rota when we get some MPPs, if we get some MPPs. So far, no, we're not getting any. Battleships are away. Maybe they had enough, or maybe they just need to go resupply a little bit. Ground air power is here, people. And it's pounding my recon unit, my poor little recon unit that never did anyone any harm. The main American airplanes and artillery is tearing it to pieces, and it's gone. Whew. Dang. This guy. If this guy disappears, the guy over there, if they, there's, I mean, look, well, we'll have to wait till the map gets over there, but I mean, they've got a straight shot up the road for quite a distance. Not to mention they can hook left and totally isolate Garapan, I think is the name of the town. And that's certainly not good. So, yeah. Oh, boy, the armored unit. Oh, we took some casualties. Good fighting, boys. That's it. Hurt him. Hurt him. You're hurting. Not, well, okay, you hurt him a little bit. Oh, here comes another one. Gosh. But they fight. My boys are not giving up. They're dying in bushelsfuls, but they're not giving up, so good for them. Okay. We'll move him along. And as the American one, I just couldn't hardly get there at all with anybody that had any supply at all. So I don't know if the AI will do a better job, but that the AI is very good at keeping its units supplied, generally speaking. Partially because it has so many more MPPs than we do that it's able to create a lot more HQs, which certainly helps. Okay. Oh, can't really reach anything or do anything. Can't really move anything. I mean, you know, it's like I said, it's kind of frustrating. Still playing around with the range here, but yeah, it's not going to reach anything. This guy, no. Okay, we're out. And, yeah. So, what will the Americans do now? I'm really worried about the right flank. Yeah, Hooo Boy. He's hanging on, but he doesn't have much to give. Meanwhile, they're shifting. Oh no, they're over there too. Yeah, that's it. Now look at that. That tank unit can play George Patton Blitzkrieg. Straight up the coast. Blow through that garrison and go even further. Or hook left and try to cross the mountains. Or do both. They've got enough troops to do both. Oop, oh, he pulled back. There's a rarity. Oop. Whoop. Okay, good. We got some defensive artillery. Help him out now. Help him out, boys. Come on. That's right. He survived. Gained us another turn. And that will probably be all who will gain us, since I can't reinforce him. And then, we blow through that garrison unit, they can just go up and then hook left and cut off Garapan from the rest of it. Create a little, well, not a little, create a pretty good sized pocket there. Okay. Yep, nothing to, oh, wait, we can't really hurt him, but we might as well, right? What the heck? Yeah, let's go down here. Keep this guy moving along. And, yeah. Looks pretty good. It's a little slow, but that's okay. Meanwhile, it's the Americans again. Yep. Good old 0 MPPs. here comes the fight to reach this line, quote unquote. They're also focusing up north, so they're softening, trying to soften them up for what they hope will be coming soon. Tinian. All right, so yeah, oof, it's wide open now. The Marines on the right flank can. They've got all kinds of options from here. This is not good for. Oh, now the guys on the left can roll up to the outskirts of Garapan. There's the artillery there. They're gonna, take some hits, but they will continue to grind. This meat grinder approach is working very well for the Americans. Whoops. So blue. Look at that. They're within 1 hex of cutting off, slicing the island in half there and creating a big old pocket, the Garapan pocket, I guess you'd call it. There we go. So, yeah, let's not forget to move this guy. Now he's got a nice clean shot of hexes all the way to the objective. So that's good. Yeah, why not? Just keeping them honest. But now we got troubles. Troubles? Hello, troubles. Right here on Saipan. Because, yikes, this town is not that well defended. They're going to be able to come in from the land side, blow that anti-air unit away, hit the HQ in that town, or maybe just grind right through the infantry anyway. What difference does it make? So sadly, I have no other way to do anything. Look at that. MPP alert. MPP alert. Alert. We have MPPs. We'll see what that does for us. Here we go. It's a crucial fixture up in the mountains. How long will it hang on? Just there goes the anti-air unit, just like nothing. So they're gonna beat on him. It looks like they're just gonna. He did a little straight up the middle into the town. Okay, they've moved. They've cut off now that whole section from the rest, the northern part of the island. Now, grinding and grinding until there's nothing left. The American way of war on Saipan. Yeah, he's retreated out of the good terrain to the really flat terrain, which is not going to help him much. But you say, aha, wargaming guy, now you can reinforce them. Well, maybe, but do I want to is the question. Yeah, go for the HQ. Why not? Show them that they're not out of reach. Okay, so, all right. Let's see if we can move this guy. No. We have MPPs, but does it cost more than 25 to embark this guy? Maybe. Because he's not going anywhere. So that's not helpful. Let's keep this guy moving. All right. He looks vulnerable, but of course he's not really because I got nothing to throw at him. So, 25 more. Hey, hey, hey. The money's racking up. All right. So now, this once huge pocket's really just a little section around the town and that one unit up north, and that's it. How long can they hold out is the question. How many will the American artillery kill is the question. A lot is the answer to that last one. And here comes, yep, the carriers. The dreaded American naval air units. All right, it's time to move. Up there, going after my garrison. Wiped him out, even though he took heavy artillery defensively. And here comes the tanks. Leading with their tanks. It's Blitzkrieg on Saipan. Not really, but it sounds like the same. Okay, now we've got this big long thing here, which I can't read, but basically this is recreating the huge banzai charge on Saipan. And you get the choice of doing that, which means you can really wallop a American unit, and then your unit, if it's still alive, will be wiped out pretty quickly because it doesn't defend itself well, to indicate because that's really what happened with the huge banzai attack they had on Saipan. It just blew through one unit, but it was stopped, and almost everybody in that attack was killed. Or you can get 2 units to defend with. And we're going to look at the notes just to see what they say here. And you can read those over. It just gives you a history of what happened. It doesn't really suggest what you should do. I was just curious what they would say about that. Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking of trying to slow them down, if that's the strategy, and that's my strategy, then a banzai charge is complete opposite of what you want. You do not want the banzai charge. So here we go. Got 2 new units. And we're going to move that guy there and hope he can dig in really well before the Americans arrive, because that is a victory hex. And, yeah. Now, look at that. He can go. He has a long way to go. The question is, I know he's going to Guam, but how long will it take to get there? There's Guam. So we'll bring him down here and hope there's no American ships floating around. As far as I know, they're not, unless they've added some for the AI, because there sure weren't any when I played the Americans. You know, whether you could actually have done this, I mean, anything's possible, right? They could have put some people on small boats and maybe made that trek. I don't think so, but it could be. I mean, it might be possible. The Japanese were very good at moving troops in all kinds of ways we wouldn't think of. They didn't always turn out so well. They tended, like on Guadalcanal, they would move them on barges, which, man, it's great as long as nobody sees you. But the minute you get air power on a barge, you've got a real mess. And that's exactly what happened to them. So maybe those guys are being pulled on a barge. Who knows? Okay. See what's happening? No supply. When they cut us off from that port, they hurt our supply. That I hadn't really thought much about that. But that is obviously how the game mechanics work, right? So apparently the Japanese didn't really have a big supply cache up north. Or at least not in this game. So when you lose that harbor, you lose a lot of your supply. This, of course, is not good, and is in fact really bad. So I'm gonna let the Americans wrap up their continuing assault upon us here. Let's see how bad our losses will be. Can we hold out for another turn? That's the question. That is the Jeopardy question, my friends. And the Jeopardy answer is no. But look at that, just wiped them out. They haven't taken the town yet, though, which I think they'd want to do. And, well, they did. So they've got the town and at least one of those harbors. I think the other one's still ours, but it doesn't matter because you can't really go anywhere with it. Great. Their supply's dwindling on the island, so you can't even shoot anybody. Well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. I am going to move this guy, I think, just because I want to make sure I know where he's going. And the problem which I run into here now is there are no ports on Guam up north. The nearest port's way down there, which is crazy, given how the Japanese were good at landing troops and having them just, they did it on Guadalcanal, just jump off the climb down the ships and just wade through the water. But, okay, that's how the rules work. So we are going to bring our boys clear over here, hoping the American troops don't show up anytime soon. I don't think they will. And keep him moving towards his little spot. I might leave him there to dig in. I might not. And, yeah, that's going to be it. So till next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care out there, everybody. Let me know what you think about this in the comments if you want to. And until next time, this is the War Gaming Guy. Take care. God bless you. And I'll see you later.